Well, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have had the 2022 GMC Yukon Denali for one whole week. We've put a full tank of gas on it. We're gonna give you our thoughts and what we really think about this awesome SUV. First, we're gonna take a quick look at the spec. We've done a few videos on it. It's finished off in red wood, which is a really cool look. It's about an $85,000 SUV. Got the big wheels, chrome trim, all sorts of goodies in it. It has a lot of space. It's been a really sweet truck to check out. And then the interior spec is really nice. And then a really nice leather interior with massive TVs. Got a pano roof, third row obviously. And I really like the stitching and the piping. It's really cool the way they've done it. I think GMC did quite a lot to make this a luxurious vehicle. It's a good in-between from the Tahoe and then of course the Escalade. But you can get a good look. We got wood grain trim, digital screen, big old screen in the center. So it's definitely been a really sweet SUV. Let's drive it and see what we think. All right, so we are now in the GMC Yukon Denali. So first off, since we're on some dirt, we have actual drive modes and we have the adjustable ride height. So if I put us into the increased ground clearance, so there's basically a rock crawl mode. Yeah. The drive modes themselves, you do have a normal, sport, and then a tow and haul mode, and an off-road mode. So it's pretty sweet how a luxury SUV has that. So we'll cruise in this one. We have the automatic 4-wheel drive, or you can put it into 2-wheel drive. We have 4-low and all that stuff.
So this would be a perfect opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
Like if you're on some gravel road, you know, we're having to cut through this parking lot here. If you want to get a little bit more ground clearance so you don't scuff anything.
Yeah, this is a family SUV. You're gonna be taking the whole family, you know, maybe to the mountains or something.
Yeah.
And this thing can do it. And with the air ride, we're hitting potholes and all sorts of garbage in the road. And you can feel them, but it really does feel so solid. Like we're cruising at like 15, 20 miles an hour.
Which is adequate for not on the pavement.
It's a little fast for these potholes, but honestly, it is a solid feeling SUV. It really does just drive so good, especially when you are hitting obstacles like this. It's been a really cool SUV to try out, to be quite honest. I really enjoyed it.
So where should we start?
Finish out these bumps.
This.
And then so we'll keep it in the normal mode and it'll lower down once we get up to higher speeds.
Yeah.
So I guess where should we start is, let's talk about the downfalls, because I don't think there's too many of them.
Should we talk about the seats?
If that's
real
what
quick.
you want to talk about.
All right, so yeah, we've had this for about a week, and honestly, you guys, there isn't anything that we've really found that's too nitpicky about this. Like, it's been a really cool, big size SUV that honestly we would get if we had to.
I could absolutely see buying this if I have like 4 kids.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
The only downside though with that is if you have a bunch of kids in the back and then you need to fold all the seats down, there's buttons behind the third row that electronically fold down the third row and the second row. But if these seats aren't in the right position, then it doesn't work. If the seats are too far forward, the headrest will hit the screen here. They won't fold all the way flat. If these seats are too far back, then the third row can't fall or go all the way down. So you're gonna have to get out and adjust the seat, which kind of makes the button a little pointless. But because you know you're going to be in here moving the seats all around, just depending on who's in the back.
I wonder if the Escalade would have all power controls for the second row, to where it will automatically do it. I don't know that. I haven't been in the Escalade.
Yeah, because you can automatically fold the second row down, but it's manual to go back up. Yeah. So that's why they don't move forwards and backwards, because that's manual adjusting. But I think that's the only little slight nitpick thing that we have found in this that we don't like.
Yeah.
Putting a full tank of gas through it, we've been able to be in this enough throughout the week to kind of pick it apart, and that's it.
Yeah, the things I like about it, I think the ride quality. So we have full air ride suspension. The thing I've noticed, which I like performance cars, you know, I've always been a fan of the European SUVs because they drive like sports cars. And my drawback with a lot of SUVs are they handle like a tank. This car, so we're going 50, I'm gonna hit the brakes. Tell me how much brake dive you think this has. It's a little bit, like 2 inches, and then it doesn't do any more. The air ride, I feel like, adjusts itself to where it lets you have a little bit, but it keeps it firmer when you're slamming on the brakes. Yeah. Where it doesn't just dive like a big old tank. So it drives.
It's got rigidity to it.
Yeah, it drives really good. Body roll and stuff. I mean, there's a little bit.
Feel that.
But it feels really nice for being such a big. I mean, this is like the biggest thing on the market. it doesn't drive like the old school ones, how they're just big old tanks.
Yeah.
So I've really enjoyed the fact that it's actually been a nice vehicle to drive.
It's very refined for sure.
Yeah.
Very comfortable, even out on the highway, cruising 60, 70 miles an hour.
Using the adaptive cruise control.
I love using that.
It's full speed, so it comes to a stop. You just press the button when traffic's moving and it starts going again.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if this is your daily, this is your long haul trip, like, absolutely. And then the technology is also really cool. I've enjoyed the screen, the digital screen. You can even change it and like have different ways it looks, and there's enough information on there, but it's not confusing.
Yeah.
I know some of them get a little too confusing.
And talking about this center tablet here, we have all the Google information. So it's like a Google tablet. I've had my phone hooked up to this, and hopefully the camera in the back can see this real quick. You can pull up your texting, Spotify, your map, all that information. And honestly, this is the first time I've ever used my phone with Apple CarPlay system.
Yeah.
And it's been really great. Yeah, it's a big system. You have a lot that you can go through.
I like the Google stuff because everybody's familiar with
like
Google Maps
and
how a Google tablet works.
You can see that.
So it's basically like having a real phone tablet instead of every other car maker. It's always their own, like, General Motors navigation system in here.
Yeah.
I like how they've done something that's technically more universal, to where we're kind of all automatically familiar with it. And this thing has Wi-Fi in it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
For us, we don't have unlimited data on our cell phones. It's cool if you have one of these vehicles, you can have a tablet with you, which won't even have internet, your laptop, and you can connect to your own Wi-Fi, which I think that's a pretty cool touch. As far as the fit and finish, so obviously General Motors, you got the Tahoe, the Yukon, and then the Escalade. I kind of like the GMC the best. Even before we had this, I've always kind of liked it better.
Yeah.
Because it has a really muscular appearance, and it's still luxurious with that huge grille. And then the interior, this is as much tech as I need. I like the leather and the wood. I think it's a really good touch to it. The Tahoe is fine. I mean, I'm sure a High Country looks very similar with the fit and finish. Escalade, I don't really need that much technology. I'm just not a techie person. So if I were to be buying a jumbo SUV, I would be putting this one on the list. I do like it.
Yeah. With just all the features we have, all these buttons, everything. It's a good layout.
This is still crazy. The whole center console goes back, and you have a hidden compartment in there, which is just neat. Like,
I didn't find that out until like day 4.
Yeah, that's just cool the way it has that, because with like the Corvette, they have the screen that slides.
Yeah,
the GM is really good about having like something hidden, which is kind of neat.
It moves all the controls in the back too, so if you needed to reach those from the second row, you can move that back too, which is kind of a win-win.
Yeah.
What else should we talk about?
I don't know. It's a good SUV, honestly. I think my only other gripe I would say is every time you put it in park, the electronic park and brake engages.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you're on a hill, when you then start it up and put it into drive, it'll kind of abruptly shut off the brake, and you'll feel it kind of shake a second. Nitpicky, it doesn't really do it all the time. It's just, I guess, depending on how you're parking it. But it's been, overall, an easy vehicle to get used to. We haven't really been in too many GMCs, but we've been in quite a few Chevys. And I think the whole interior user face is really easy. Using the controls on the steering wheel haven't been hard to get used to either. And I like how high up it is. It's a good daily if you're dealing with traffic, because you can just see over everybody.
Oh yeah.
And you really feel like a king of the road when you're in an SUV like this, I think. Steering's nice and light too. Only other thing, I guess, the braking. It does take a little bit of pressure to brake. Once you get used to it, I'm sure you wouldn't really notice it.
Yeah.
But the brake pedal's a little heavy to where you really got to be pushing it. Again, I'm used to sports cars, so a little bit different feedback there. But it's been nice, super quiet, refined, like no noise.
It's been really good taking it to the grocery store, using the buttons on the back doors that you can unlock so you don't have to grab your key.
Yeah.
Or if you're putting your kids in the back, something like that. That's been great.
And actually, the day we got this, I sold a golf set that I had.
Oh, yeah.
And with the third row up, I put the whole golf bag in the back, and there's like so much more space.
Yeah.
So the fact that this has so much space to it, and if you get the Yukon XL, which has even more room, I mean, I can't imagine just how much you can pack. You could pack the kids, the dog, and all your stuff for, a weekend getaway, or a week getaway, I should say.
And then tow whatever you want, too.
Yeah.
Because this can tow like 8,000 pounds.
Yeah. It's a really good blend, and I like how, this is an American vehicle, and yet you do have such, like, luxuries and refinements to it. I think GM did a good job on their new stuff, for sure. And I've been in the older ones a lot back when I worked at a dealership, and this is just, it's really nice in here. Very nice.
Give it some gas now.
Yeah, the transmission.
on a turn.
Like, we're doing 60. We should be doing that in a big old SUV.
Yeah.
But the power,
That V8.
man, big, was it 6.2,
6.2 liter V8, yeah.
You got a big old V8 with, I don't even know how many transmission speeds.
10 speed.
10 speed.
Yeah.
It does a great job delivering power. Like, we're going 50 and going uphill. If I had to pass,
Look at that, instant.
60. Yeah, it's a vehicle that it gets up and moves.
And even with that V8, we've been averaging around 17 miles per gallon on this whole tank.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, you're not buying it for that, but.
Yeah. So let's see about a 3-point turn. The maneuverability's been pretty good. The camera systems I love. You get the top down and everything, parking sensors.
All these different angles.
And it's
side
cool.
cameras.
It's cool how it shakes the seat when your sensors are going off.
It'll actually stop the car too. If you get too close to it,
Yeah.
it has the auto braking.
Yeah, I was backing into in front of the garage and I got a foot or two in front of it and it stopped.
Yeah.
Which I was gonna stop anyway, but it's cool that it even has that sort of tech and it's not too intrusive. When I had the Supra, I had to turn that thing off.
Yeah.
Every time I got even remotely close, it would slam on the brakes. So I feel like this is much more not intrusive.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1 week, one whole tank. We put over 400 miles on this. I've really liked it. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to just take out.
It's been
and
so
drive.
relaxing to drive. I think that's the biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
I do not mind traffic in this. I didn't mind the highway trips. I mean, we drove an hour out of our way yesterday to go film another car.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It was great. We got the heated and ventilated seats, dual zone. Everything is just so comfy.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice.
Very pleasant car.
Yeah.
So if you're in the market for a big jumbo SUV, I would say put the Yukon on the list. The Denali, I mean, it's definitely up there in price, but for 85 grand, honestly, I feel like it's a bargain. Because you look at the BMWs that we're used to filming, an X7's
They're over 100.
And this is wider, you got more space. So I think it's really cost effective. And if you want a little bit cheaper one, you don't need to get the $11,000 package on this one.
Yeah.
But I would put it on the list.
Definitely.
So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and we'll see you all in the next video.